Can you hear the talker in your head? It doubts, compares, and worries non-stop. We talk about that voice here. I'm Alex Yu. Welcome to Mind Drive. Welcome, Vicky Sjohall. I am so happy and I've been looking forward having you on our podcast as a guest. Now, Vicky is going to tell us a bit about herself, but a few things that I can share is that Vicky is a musician, an artist. She loves to travel and explore different cultures, which is going to make that conversation a lot more diverse and interesting and rich. So, without me kind of continuing on, I would like to give you the opportunity, Vicky, to tell us a bit about yourself.
Oh, thank you. And thanks for having me. I've been looking forward to this. Um, I am born and raised in BC, and I moved to Vancouver for university. I was growing up in Prince George. I did a lot of nature things growing up. So nature and music were very important in my life. My dad was a logger, so we did a lot of camping and learned a lot about nature and fishing and hunting and all the things. Moved to Vancouver for university, became a little bit more of a city girl, but I love this city. Vancouver is so beautiful because it's not too big. You still have nature and you still have the city, but it's not crazy. I went to university for health and wellness, human kinetics, very avid in sports because music was not supposed to be a job. It was just something I was gifted with. And then as soon as I graduated from university, I started a band with three other girls. And we ended up, one of them dropped out, and three of us ended up touring quite a bit extensively. And then it ended up being two of us. So it was a very big part of my life.
What was it called? What was it called, that group?
It started as Foreplay because there was four of us. And we got offered a record deal with Virgin Canada. And then the record deal fell through for various political reasons, whatever. And then we called ourselves Cherry Bomb. And Cherry Bomb was a big, especially West Coast locally. We got pretty mainstream. We were distributed with Maple Music, and then we just had, Rock and Roll Diaries had a bit of a falling out with my business partner and I. So that's a whole other day. But I still play music. I ended up taking a couple of years off, and my husband and I recorded an album for my first solo album about 2008. And then I've just been doing solo work, and I worked in hospitality for years. I love working with people. And just sharing the joy of music has been like my priority for a big part of the second half of my life. So it's been really fun.
Wow. Okay. So you shared, I mean, in just a few minutes, how rich your life has been. I mean, it is a lot for me. I'm writing here a few notes, and that group, I did not know that you had a band.
Yeah.
Of all girls, and too bad, because it seems like you might have gone somewhere with this, especially if there was a record on the table, right?
It was we were so close. We were touring with a production company that was also working with Metric at the same time, and Metric was blowing up. They're also a local female fronted band, and and then my business partner, just some things happened within the band that are, just say Rock and Roll Diaries happened, and I had to step back, and we had to remove our albums from the shelves and rename our band. She basically, our manager was her fiance, and she didn't take care of that relationship very well when we were on tour. Let's just say that.
Okay. So
it got messy.
Drama came into the band. Okay.
Yes.
Well, it wasn't lack of potential and quality and talent. It was a different reason. Well,
it was a different reason, and that's okay. We were also a girl fronted band that we met with all these agencies, and they just didn't know what to do with us because we were doing pretty music, but it was rock pretty music. So just a lot of things. And you know what? It's okay. I loved the experience. I would never trade the experience for the world. It was amazing. I learned so much. And we have our albums are amazing. They're still somewhere. You just can't buy them anywhere. You have to just ask me for them.
Well, if you want me to, we can always put them into the notes after that. People
Yeah.
can connect in and they can buy it from you, I suppose. But I wanted to ask you, and you mentioned it. What did you learn from that? It seems like that was an experience early in your life. What are
Yeah.
the two lessons, maybe, or one big lesson you learned from all that experience?
Um, you have the balance of passion and business is very, very fine. I learned that very young. Well, young in terms of my career in music. It's a very fine balance, and you have to take care of yourself first and not get railroaded into making decisions that aren't necessarily in your own best interest. That's number one. Number two, um, work with people that you trust.
Hmm.
You have to be able to trust them all the way across the country, all the way, we toured in Europe, and things can go sideways for no any reason, but you really have to trust the people that you're working with. So that's part of life in any business, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So those two things. Good
I hear
question.
you. I hear you. And I think you're not the only one that's telling me that. Like combining that passion for something and business, those are not the same thing. Like being passionate about something and then running it as a proper business.
Yes.
And do you think that's lack of experience or something that they don't teach us? Or why is it that a lot of passionate people with good ideas, like you said, maybe they fail on the business part?
Um, I think that unfortunately there's people that want to take advantage of the talent, and the talent sometimes it isn't a taught thing.
Hmm.
The talent is something that is so in your heart, and you and then somebody offers you something, and you don't necessarily, you don't have somebody to like bounce the ideas off of. Like I had those people later in my career that were very helpful. And I think when you're in the thick of it in the beginning, it's so exciting and it's so fun. Like I can't imagine being 17, how some of the young people these days are getting, railroaded, because I was in my early 30s when I was getting offered a record deal. But I still hadn't had the experience of all of the music business, so to
Hmm.
speak.
Got it.
So it's
Got
just, yeah, it's
it.
I definitely think there should be some, like I took a music business um course in my 30s because I was going through some of this, and I was fortunate to have somebody to refer me to this, and that I learned a lot in that,
Hmm.
just so that you could take control of some of your decision making.
True. So you need
Yeah.
professionals. So I guess what
I
I'm
Yeah.
hearing from you is professionals. That
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and now that I have more experience, like I'm not a professional, but I do offer, if like I don't offer unsolicited advice. However, I'll be like, would you like some help or feedback on what you're going through if I run
Hmm.
into somebody? I think that that is something that is part of networking, and some part of having, a mentor, which I didn't really have. And so that's something that's really important as for whatever career you're doing, really.
Agreed. Agreed. I
Yeah.
too often, and I've fallen in those in my young ages. Like you think you know it all, or maybe you don't think enough. I'm not sure what it is, but ask for help, professional
Ask for
help.
help. Ask
Ask
for
for
help.
help. That's
100%.
what that's
Doesn't
what
matter what
I'm
it is.
feeling.
If you're not sure, and if I just, and also trust your gut, trust your instinct. If you're
Hmm.
not feeling comfortable with something, I could tell you 5 times looking back, in hindsight's 2020, but decisions being made on what to wear for a photo shoot, decisions being made on, you know what I mean? And as a
Hmm.
woman also, there's a lot of other factors. Um, Conversations that I wasn't comfortable with, like asking me if I'm, are you wanting to have a family? Are you wanting to get pregnant? And like, why is that relevant? But these questions happen. And if you're
Hmm.
not comfortable, ask somebody for help so that you can find the right, don't answer right away. You don't, it's none of their business, but at some point these conversations come up. And I think asking for help
Correct.
all the time. Yeah.
Correct. No, I agree with you. And thank you for
Yeah.
bringing this up because it's so important for us as a reminder, right? Like in
Yes.
every walk of life, no matter where you are right now and what's bothering you or what's exciting you, ask for
Yes.
opinion, for help. Yes,
Yes.
follow that gut feeling, but also
Yes.
support that gut feeling
Yes.
with help.
It takes a
Um,
village to do anything and to do it
yes,
well,
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And I guess I mean, I'm drilling on that question. I have other exciting questions, but like a part of it is, uh, like, because maybe the social aspect of us is changed, like meaning people don't talk to each other as much, maybe, like this is just comparing my life, early
Absolutely.
life and now, right?
Yeah, I also think that like to in this today, yes, I think people are definitely more reserved in conversations and asking for help, which is unfortunate. I think that in my experience anyways, um, there's also this competitiveness that people are afraid to share because they want to get ahead of the
uh,
game. And
uh,
I mean, I find that I can only speak for myself as a woman in the industry that, there were areas of collaboration, but then areas of definite competitiveness. And
mm,
Vancouver being the city that it is with so few venues, we're all competing for that spot to
mhm.
play in that room. And it's a challenge because there's so many talented people, and it doesn't matter if you're an artist or whatever. I feel like there's the competitive aspect. I've really struggled with that because I want to support people to do, I get a
Yeah,
venue and I'm booking it. I want to share the venue. I
exactly.
mean, and that it
Mm,
just inspires more creativity and more community, which is also really something that is lacking, right?
yeah,
Community.
and which is what this art is about, right?
Yes.
Sharing, community
Sharing.
building. You
Absolutely.
know, it seems like yes, you did learn a lot from that experience, but you're still in music, which is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
It didn't stop. You didn't get out of the game completely.
I
You
took 2
continue.
years off,
Oh,
and
did you?
oh, I did. And my heart was yeah, I left the city completely. There was a lot of there was so much gossip about the band, and I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to talk badly about my business partner, although it happened on their end. Um, but it didn't feel good for me. So it was like my soul was hurting. So I left Vancouver, moved to Victoria for 2 years, and yeah, I just needed a break because it was very toxic.
Mhm.
And then I ended up just like writing 10 new songs, which are like my babies, my personal babies. And it was awesome. So I think the break was necessary.
Mhm.
Um, but, and I do feel like it's sometimes an advantage to take a break if you can. Maybe it's a 2 month break, or just to step out of all the
Mhm.
gossip and the drama and the talk, because it just, like you talked about, we've spoken together just about like where your mind can go,
Mhm.
and all those
I
some
like
of
it.
those stories aren't real anyways, but they get in your brain, right?
Oh, well, I was just writing that as a note because we are gonna get into that. That's a great that's a
I call
juicy
her
point.
Josephine. That's my alter ego that starts telling me all these monsters that aren't real.
Josephine. All right, I love it. I love it. I mean, this is becoming really good, this conversation. I'm building up that second part,
Yeah.
which is going to be the talker, Josephine the talker in this case, right?
Yeah.
Um, but this break that you took, very honorable of you. Like you said, I want to get away and not get into this negative talk, even
Yeah.
though it wasn't on your fault, and you could have listened to Josephine and talk badmouth that other person in whatever the
Yeah.
situation might be. You didn't do
Yeah.
that. Very honorable.
No. Thank you.
So that kind of again confirms what a wonderful human you are.
Thanks.
But again, fast forward to today, you're still in music. I mean,
I am. I COVID was very hard for everyone in entertainment and music and arts, and every business
mhm,
just struggled. Um, I I remember on March 17th sitting there, and I had gigs booked till the very end of the year, and everybody canceled. Like I just
oh,
sat there and my phone was dinging, dinging, dinging. And I was like, well, if Ireland canceled St. Patrick's Day, and Easter's canceled in the Vatican, and FIFA canceled soccer, I mean, I guess this is just what's happening, so you just gotta roll with.
yes, it wasn't personal, right, Vicky?
No, no, it wasn't personal. And it was hard because I'd been finally doing music full time, actually on the precipice of like actually starting to make enough to not like getting out of debt and stuff like that. So it was it was crazy. But then it's just life. So building back from that has been a challenge, but I've also like been fortunate to get work in other fields. Like I was working in film for a bit and doing other jobs. And also it gave me a moment to reflect on that. I was working, gigging music, playing music in 5 different bands, playing music like 6 or 7 nights a week, plus private parties and events. I was exhausted. I was so exhausted. And the passion was being driven by, I call it the paper to pay the bills and stuff, which
Yeah.
also isn't a healthy way to live your passion,
Hmm.
you know?
Hmm.
So it was a really nice time to reflect on, again, the work-life balance and finding, going back to what I play music for. It isn't to pay all the bills all week. It's there's a fine balance with that as well. So I really took it as like a really nice reflection. It took a while to get there,
I
but
know, I believe you. And so now are you able to, after doing this reflecting, after this tough COVID moment for every artist, really, especially
yeah,
in music,
for
are
everyone.
you,
Yeah.
yeah, are you back at like not like at a previous level where you're comfortable with the music, you're enjoying what you're doing, or it's
I'm
still?
enjoying what I'm doing, but I'm being a little more choosy with what I do. And I haven't gotten back into recording anything yet. We did the song Missing You and Lights Out, right? Well, Missing You, we did the video during COVID, and it was so much joy. We just finished recording that song. And so I do have a lot of things to get out of my system in the studio. I just haven't, my voice has changed a bit, and I feel a little bit uh, self-analytical about how I'm going to present some of the things.
Hmm.
It's like, and making it transferring my music and my writing into from a dark place into a positive thing. So
Hmm.
it's going to be really fun. I know that this winter is going to be amazing. I'm ready, and I've just been thinking too much about it because all of my music comes from my own personal experience or from experience of what I see from other things in life. And in general, it always translates fine. I'm just thinking too much about it.
You're overthinking.
Yeah,
Josefina, maybe
yeah.
it's Josefina, and that's
Josephine is like, it's
oh,
not going to be good
Josephine.
enough. Yeah. Oh, Josephine.
Josephine. Oh,
She's
Josephine.
alive. She's alive in the studio. So I've been working on that with just I know summer is too hard to sit in the studio. It's too nice out. It's too hot. But like I have a lot of half ideas to get, and I know I'm gonna just pump out a bunch of songs. I call it I'm just gonna puke babies, just like all the babies.
So maybe one of the songs might be about Josephine.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, she's gonna be in a song.
She's gotta be in the
I
song,
oh
right?
yeah, she's gonna be in a song for sure.
That that do voices change, I guess, with age, or is it with how you evolve as a personality and what you
Um,
express through the voice?
well, the vocal cords are a muscle. So if you think about it as all of our voices change, I think that our voice, I feel like my voice has changed because of getting mature and because of experience. The way I phrase things are a little different. The way I write things are a little different. And um, yeah, if you think about it as a muscle, the way you run 10 years ago or you run today is very different, you
Oh,
know?
for sure, for sure.
So yeah, and that's how I equate my vocal cords. And then also because it's my voice and my heart in my voice is so I had a very heavy time, and it changed a little bit of how I present my voice now. So
Okay.
it's been really
Wow.
interesting. Yeah.
That is interesting, and we
Yeah.
probably pick on it a bit again. I guess that the experiences that have happened to you, they change. I mean, they change us as a personality, and then
Yeah.
that can be projected through what we do. Totally.
Exactly.
Well, I wish you, and I'm sure those who are listening, a great, successful season. If it's a
Thank
season
you.
in the fall and the winter, and I'm sure
Yes.
you're gonna do great. because you've got that great personality, and you're gonna be, what did you say, spilling or spitting babies?
Puking.
Oh, puking. Okay,
Blech.
puking babies.
Puking babies. It's a terrible phrase. I gotta find a better one. So let's say birthing music song babies.
Okay, birthing some babies. So when it comes, it's gonna come with the truckload, right?
Yeah,
The
I
songs.
think so. It's interesting when I really sit down, and I've been doing it. There's some rain coming here in Vancouver. Sitting down with my guitar, and I'm like, oh yeah, Mama's gonna be birthing some babies.
I love it. Well, thank you for giving us just a bit about. I mean, I know 20 minutes is not enough, but I think
Oh, I
we
love it.
got
Thank
I
you.
got a bit of what Vicky's passions are about, and now you gave us a good gold nuggets about the Josephine and the Talker, which is what we're gonna talk now, right?
Thanks.
And so that second part, in recent years, there's been a lot of talk about mental health and mindfulness. You'd agree,
Yeah.
and rightly so, right? And the world moves fast, the pressure seems endless, and the noise never stops. Really, it's
Oh,
just
the noise.
Josephine, right? That noise,
Yeah,
but
and
yeah.
yeah. Go ahead.
But here's the thing: some of the noise doesn't come from the world; it comes from inside, like you said, and that inner
Mm-hmm.
voice that doubts, judges, rushes, etc. It's a voice we all know, but very few of us name. And I call it
Mm-hmm.
the talker, like I said, and that's what I want to talk about next. Explore and get your perspective.
Yes.
And the first question I have for you, Vicky, in that second part of our talk is: when I say the talker in you, what comes to mind?
Um, the sad thing is it's always negative. It's never well, I can't say never. Let's say about 75% of the inner talk is um you're not doing enough. Um
Very true.
which is that's at the forefront. I'm just not doing enough.
Hmm.
Or you're not, like, I'm irrelevant uh in terms of, like, not in my family, but I mean sometimes it is in your family. Oh, I'm not important enough.
Hmm.
Um my value as a human, I'm just irrelevant in the world. Like, I can't I'm not, there's nothing I can do to make a difference,
Hmm.
which is so toxic to think about, because all of us are important. But on
Absolutely.
in those, yeah, in those moments, it's yeah. And
So
I think, yeah.
why? I mean, and you're on the right track, and we're gonna have a lot of time here to talk about it. It
Hmm.
is not a pleasant, like you said, it's mostly or often negative, and it talks us
Yes.
down on multiple levels. You're not
Yes.
enough. You're late. You gotta do more. They don't see
Yeah.
you. You're irrelevant, and yada yada yada.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's obviously
Exactly.
very toxic. You word the word you use the word toxic, and
Yeah.
that's not an understatement, right? Why
Yeah.
do we have it as humans, Vicky? Why do we have the Josephine Talker
Ah,
at all?
gosh, I mean, I have struggled with this my whole life, and I didn't, I feel like I don't, and it depends on where everyone lives and what your upbringing is and what your child, I mean, it all goes back to childhood and all this stuff. But we are constantly comparing ourselves with everyone.
Mm,
Whatever you're
comparing.
doing, you're comparing yourself. It comes down to what you look like in your bikini, or what your voice sounds like that day, or if you have, I I've never really had anxiety, but I developed some anxiety tendencies during COVID after being isolated. And I'm a Leo, like, I love meeting people, and I was, like, worried about, oh, they're not gonna like you, everyone has their own agenda. So it's very we're constantly just comparing ourselves to what somebody else might be better.
Hmm. Hmm. The
Yeah.
comparing. And you
Yeah.
mentioned it in music, and I want to go there in a little bit, and explore Josephine or the Talker in the
Yeah.
music industry, because that's
Yeah.
a lot of your experience, right? But
Yeah.
before I go into it, what triggers your talker, like and makes it louder more than the usual? Like what event or place or situation have you noticed?
Um, Definitely going into a meeting and not having met somebody, like first interactions have become a part of Josephine, and like, and there's that
Yeah,
anxiety, right?
yeah.
Having the confidence to just go through the door and not worry about what they think of you or what you're wearing or my age or that kind of thing, and that might be like a more female thing.
Oh, I
Although
think it goes
I do have
both
male
ways.
friends that have
Yes,
experienced the same thing. Yeah. So
for
let's take
sure.
that out. But
Mm-hmm.
and also just, you know, I'm a yes. I've come Ariana Grande said it once. I'm a recovered people pleaser. And I have been a people pleaser my whole life because I thought if I could excel and be the best, that everyone would be happy. But that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make me happy. Like
Correct.
being the best at something that maybe I don't even like doing. So walking into perhaps doing something because I need to, have a job or whatever, but I don't actually want to do that. That can create a lot of Josephine. Oh, well, you've done this forever and they don't even want you. And that could be with music too. Oh, you've been singing forever, but you're too old for this, or and that's just my Josephine being obnoxious. Um,
Mm-hmm. Wow. No, I
but
hear,
yeah,
and that talker, I mean, this is a great example. It talks to us like this, and you're not only, like you said, female, male. I think it's irrelevant, the
it's
gender,
irrelevant.
because
Yeah,
right.
I
And then
agree.
it's somehow we tolerate it, meaning like we have, it's almost like you have a hot plate in your hand. Naturally you drop it, but when it
Yeah.
comes to the talker, why aren't we dropping it?
Why are we hanging on to it? Oh my
Yes.
gosh. I swear, and like I had a therapist say to me once, they were like, "What does it look like if Josephine is your warrior?" And I was like, "What? My warrior?"
Okay.
Like, oh, I never even thought of that.
That
What would it look like when you can just shut down Josephine and start making Josephine your warrior? So that's an interesting way to think about it, right? Because we have to train our brain to start like telling her, like dropping the pot, like stop
Mhm.
it.
She doesn't seem to listen though, Josephine. It's not
Oh,
right. Like, and
well,
that's
it's
the
like
thing.
years and years of training she's got on me, right? Like,
But in that conversation though, in that light of thinking line of thinking, have you noticed or have you managed to use any tools to calm her down or to stop her for you know at least
yes,
moments?
yes. Um, One of the things that I use is say the night before I know that like I'm already feeling it. I just write in my journal about like how amazing it's going to be. Like just
Uh,
like just already get your my mindset into that it's going to be a great day and this is going to be awesome. And if you don't like it, you can say no. Like it's
okay,
that simple. It doesn't have to be like, oh, you're saying no because you're a loser. Oh, you're just not good enough. Oh, no, no, no. I can be in charge. So
I
putting
like it.
myself in charge.
I
And I've
like it.
just started doing this. So like, believe me, I am not like, I am
An
definitely
expert.
not good at it, but
No.
it's something that has helped a few times when I've actually done it. So that's something that I can recommend that works for me when I'm actually like consciously doing it.
No,
But
I
yeah.
I hear you. It's a
Yeah.
so this is kind of like a positive kind of affirmation if you issue. But you said
Yeah.
I can feel it. It's coming.
Yeah.
What does it? What's if you can explain it, the physical feeling when you know
Oh, it's all
Josephine
here.
or the
It's
top?
all here in my chest. I get everything in my chest. My shoulders rise. I get short of breath and I'm like, "Oh, that's so," and then I'm like, "Okay, you know, it's doesn't have to be this." I mean, I'm already creating a monster that's not even real.
That's not
Or
even real.
Josephine is, right? So it's not real. It's my own idea of what is maybe going to happen, but that's the probably the smallest possibility.
of that
right?
happening. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. It almost feels like sometimes the talker wants to protect you with this kind of projections, but like you
Yes.
said, it goes too far. It creates these monsters instantly that
Yeah.
actually prevent you from actioning because,
Yeah.
like you said, chest is tightening or
Oh,
whatever
and
it
then
might
you're not
happen.
yourself, right? And
Yes,
then you're just living in this mindset of like, oh,
fear.
it creates a mindset of failure already,
Yes,
and you haven't
yes.
even walked out the door yet.
Yes, yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
so when you're in the middle of it, like you said, and maybe you're meeting someone, because referring back, like you said, and Josephine is talking, like, oh, you're not good enough, the music, this, the
Yeah.
age. How do you go through it anyways? Because you're gonna meet that person and you're walking and you're going through with it.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I put on my purple glitter eyeshadow and a lot of mascara. I put on like literally, and I just keep putting on mascara, and then I'm like, I keep talking to myself, and then I hopefully did the notes the night before, and I just, walk out the door and I walk. Sometimes I listen to like a Mel Robbins thing. Sometimes I listen to music while I'm on my way. Um,
Wonderful.
and I've learned to reach out in ways to ask for help. Sometimes it's ironic. Sometimes listening to music brings me more anxiety because if it's a music related thing, Josephine's like, oh, well, that you didn't write that song, right?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah, it goes deep.
She can
Oh,
be
yeah.
so mean, right? And
Oh,
look,
oh
like
my gosh. My husband goes, babe, I can hear the hamsters from over here. Like he calls
oh,
them in the hamsters.
the hamsters, yes.
Yeah. He's like, you got to feed the hamsters. What are you doing? So yeah, sometimes listening to a podcast or just something funny, that's a new thing for me in the last like 3 or 4 months. And it's really helped me. Yeah. So
That's a wonderful little insight here. So for people, what
yeah.
I got out of what Vicky just said is she'll put a little more makeup just to feel herself
Yeah.
up and better.
And I don't wear a lot of makeup. It's the mascara and like the glitter, just mild purple eyeshadow it's got on here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like it's like my trademark, and I'm like good to go.
Yes, and yeah, I didn't mean to say that you wear a lot of makeup, but
Yeah,
just the mindset of yes, like because this action tells you no, no, I'm putting the makeup, I'm looking great, and I'm gonna
yeah,
walk out, right?
I'm ready. Yeah,
I'm ready, and
yeah.
then a
I'm
positive
beautiful.
podcast.
I'm powerful.
Of
I'm good.
course, of
I have
course.
this. I am a passionate, powerful, connected leader. I am a butterfly, and I learned this at a conference I went to, and that was what my mantra is. So I do use that a lot too.
Can you say it again?
I'm a passionate, powerful, connected leader. I am a butterfly.
Beautiful. Oh, that's
Yeah.
good because
Yes.
we all connected, and butterfly is a good analogy for that. That's
Yes.
I like that. I like that. Okay.
Thank you.
This was really nice, and back of course to the talker. Like when if let's take a friend of your or imaginary friend, just for example,
Yes.
we'll
Yeah.
we'll call him Michael just for the sake of this example,
Sake of a name.
um,
Yep.
right? And if Michael calls you and said, "Hey, you didn't write this song, you suck," what would you do?
I had somebody comment on a song that I'd finished and recorded, and I was so excited. And an acquaintance through whatever, and he gave me some feedback like that. And I didn't ask him. I shared the song with him. I was so excited. And he's like, I just don't think it's really getting there. And
Oh,
I said, well, it's my beautiful creation, and I'm so happy. Um, thank you. It's around like I'm sorry. I love my song, and it doesn't matter. And it's really I've come a long way to be able to say that because
mhm.
innately I want to hear people and go, oh, well, thank you. Thanks for telling me that. And just take care of them right away. And that's not,
Oh,
I want to take
that
care of them. And
that's
that's not, it's not, it's not serving me
no, it's not
to
healthy
take
for
care
you.
of them when
Oh,
it's my baby,
no,
right?
it's not healthy for them either. Like you need to look
No.
for right because you're
Yeah.
teaching them the wrong thing as well with by doing this.
Yeah. That it's okay to provide unsolicited feedback. It's something that I've learned, you know, giving unsolicited advice or feedback is really, it can be toxic. You don't know what people are going through in that moment.
Mhm.
So, hey, I'd
True.
love to, right? I'd love to, if somebody's sharing something beautiful, it's just like showing, like, I'm just going to say, I'm not a parent, but if somebody brings the baby and shows you the baby, oh gosh, too bad their hair is brown. Like you would never do that.
No,
And songs are writers' babies. So I'm
yes,
just telling you that right now.
yeah,
People that write music or write films or, sure, maybe they're not the best song in the world, and maybe it's not the best film in the world, or maybe it's not the best sweater that anybody's ever knitted, but you just go, oh my gosh, I'm so
yeah,
proud of you. Like
yes,
that's it, right?
exactly. Exactly. Wow, you said so many things there, but I want to take this example is really good. So, after Michael gave you this feedback that you did
Yeah.
not expect, and it didn't land the way it that you'd expect somebody to say something nice about it. But like, did you ask him for another opinion the very next day, for example?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Nope.
So the Josephine, the talker, when she says you suck and this song sucks, the next day she says something like that again. Why are we listening to her? Like, you see what I mean?
I
Like,
know. Isn't that crazy?
it is crazy,
It's
right?
it's so crazy because we are so, I mean, we're Josephine is a part of me. So it's, you know, learning how to figure out that talker, and to try and find a way to be friends with them and not get, not let the whole spiral happen. It's a
Spiral.
it's a
Yeah,
it's a crazy thing to learn how to do, and it takes work and time and things like this to talk about it,
absolutely. There's,
100%.
there's Vicky. You said the most powerful thing, that it isn't about defeating them or working hard through them. Is actually, you use the word friend, and that's a perfect example. Or letting it be there, but not making it your identity, spiraling
100%.
with it, right?
Totally. It's 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 part of you, so you have to embrace it and respect it, but you don't have to engage in it all the time. And you don't, like, I really, I got to tell you, this last couple of months, in using some small steps, I've been managing Josephine. She's not managing me.
This was
Woohoo!
like, I
Party!
my heart is melting, Vicky, because this is not a small thing, right?
Oh,
It's
I
not a
know.
small thing.
Oh, I
And
know.
believe me, there'll be days where you hate yourself for trying to even do that, because sometimes
Hmm.
she's loud. She's very loud.
Oh,
She can be
and
very
you know
loud,
what? On
right?
those days, I just take a Vicky day, and I read my book and get out of my head. I go to the pool. I go for
Good
a
for
walk on the
you.
beach. I listen to whatever. I just shut it down, and like, if it's that loud and it's screaming at me, I need to just take a break, because there's something I have to say. It's really nice to talk about this with you, Alex, because when I say things out loud, when you can, if it's that loud and you have to take a minute and take care of yourself, it's a self-care day.
It is.
Because if it's that loud, it's something else is also going on.
Correct.
And it's
Correct.
really hard. It's really hard to remember that on those days, because
Mhm.
you're so it's just like being beaten up, and like,
Mhm.
just, it's like she's just pounding on you. And you have to take a self-care day, and whatever that means for you, right?
Exactly, exactly, Vicky. The reason it feels good is because we are bringing awareness here, and you're sharing something, and you're not. It's like, oh, okay, other people have this problem. I'm not
Yeah.
crazy. This
Oh,
voice is not me only.
oh,
Think,
you are
right?
not alone. I
Yes.
mean, I swear you are not alone. And
Mm.
if anybody's watching this, um, there's no shame because
No,
you're not alone. And the struggle is real.
no shame.
It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's
No.
nothing to feel, you are not alone. There's a song I wrote called Not Alone. And I actually say in the song, um, uh, da, 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 out of the out of the drowning of the rain, out of the screaming of your mind, out of the circus of your mind. There's a few lyrics like that.
Ooh, circus. I like that. Circus of
Yeah,
your mind.
out of the out of the crying of the rain, out of the circus of your mind, out of the fear that you're walking on your own. You never have to be alone.
Wow.
Yeah, thank
Well,
you.
you guys just heard just a snippet, but Vicky's voice is wow, wow, wow,
Thank
wow.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Vicky. But this is really good. The circus of the mind. Has
Yeah.
has has Josephine the talker become louder over the years with age?
Um, yes.
Any
Yes.
explanation? Any thought? Any perspective on that?
Um, you know, I was in school, college, university, and there's so much structure. And I feel like when I finished university and I graduated with great things, but then there was like for me anyways, there was like the lack of structure kind of challenged me. Um, because in university it's like this team. You're not competing to get the top mark. I mean,
Hmm.
everybody wants the top marks, but we weren't competing to get the top marks. I was
Hmm.
also on in a volleyball team. I was also in like positive environment teamwork. And that is something that as I've gotten older, you know, people get
Uh,
married, they have children, they get new jobs, and you kind of lose all these connections. And I had to kind of start rebuilding these connections, community and teamwork. And that is something that I think is harder as you get older with,
oh, that's a
you
great
know,
point. I'm writing this
yeah,
down because it's a great point
yeah,
because
please.
that structure that you get from school and that team feel work like
Yeah.
togetherness, purpose, if you wish,
It
like we
was
all
my
want to
whole
graduate,
life. It
right?
was my
Yeah,
whole life
exactly,
until I was 27 years old.
exactly.
And then the band was fun, but it really isolated me because I all I was doing was the band, the band, the band, the band, the band. And it
Hmm.
becomes like this family that also is just we're all, you know, challenging each other to be better, to do better. We got to be better than that band, be better than that band. And so that crazy like competitiveness and then branching away from the team of
Hmm.
being a part of something bigger was yeah, it was just a really interesting transformation. And now, you know,
I
I'm
wanna.
doing that again, like just rebuilding connections and community.
This is very powerful. I want to unpack it a little more. So, and I think it really aligns with what I think is the reason of why the talk becomes loud. First, as
Yeah.
you said, you start your life and you belong to a lot of places, like a kindergarten, like a
Yep.
like a school when you're younger, high school, college,
School,
etc. Right?
sports,
Sports.
choir,
Hmm.
other families, I wasn't going to church a lot, but I went to church with friends sometimes, like all these things that you do that is just part of your life. Yes.
Correct. And there's less time for Josephine alone, and there's more time
Yes.
for collective being, right? You're
100%.
sharing an experience.
Beautiful phrase, collective being. Yes.
Collective being, which is the way to go. And then
Yes.
now, as you said, as you kind of become more isolated into your single world, or with a partner, and then everybody
Yeah.
else does the same, you have
Yeah.
more time to stay with Josephine.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, totally. And it's so interesting because the like obviously for everyone during COVID, she kind of went away because we were all a community doing the same struggle together for a time period like 2020, 2021. And I really felt connected in terms of like it was so different, but it was a connectivity that we had because we were all
Yeah.
experiencing the same thing.
Yes.
And then we came out of it and it was just
We
like all the things were just so struggle. Like it was bananas.
it
We need to
was,
make
but it
more
was like,
money. We can't afford to have you. We can't afford to go to restaurant. The restaurants want to charge more. The food inflation went up, like all these things. And it's just like, bleh,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I
So
feel like Josephine has been really loud the last 2 years for me.
so and that's exactly it. When there was a collective goal, or even though it was a negative experience, as in it was a affecting people's lives, and some people
Terrible,
right, like,
terrible. But
but
as a global community, it was the first time
right,
I've ever experienced that.
yes,
And it
and
was amazing until it wasn't amazing anymore.
yes, at the after, The after effect was not very amazing, that's for sure.
No. Well, it's funny, like I have several friends that were ICU nurses, and just as a small example, being like pots and pans one day and then getting thrown eggs at the next day. Like they stopped wearing their scrubs home because they were getting eggs thrown at them. Like it just got so ridiculous. So I think
Yes,
a lot of our mental health, for whatever industry you're in, the challenge since that time has really evolved significantly, and I
significant.
believe right now it's going to come back because of things like this community.
Yes,
What you're doing is raising awareness that you're not alone, and we all have experienced a lot in the last 5-6 years.
agreed. Bringing awareness. There's a lot of bubbling underneath it about this topic, and rightly
Yeah,
so, right?
yeah,
Can I ask you back to the music, well, back into the music world? Have you ever had a moment? I'm curious, on stage or in the studio, your life while making art like music,
yeah.
when when Josephine, the talker, got so loud that it almost stopped you, or maybe it did stop you or prevented you from performing.
Absolutely. It happened a couple of weeks ago.
Oh
I
wow, can you tell me?
Yeah, yeah. So it was a last minute gig that was requested, and my bandmate and I said yes to the gig, and we got there, and just hadn't played with the drummer for a long time. And I'm very good. Like I play tambourine, I have really great percussion skills. I play guitar, I sing. And there was a moment on stage where I couldn't hear where the one was in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, yes, the
And
beats.
yeah, like I couldn't hear they started the bass, and the drummer started, and I'm supposed to start playing guitar on the one after about 5 or 6 bars, and I couldn't find it. And I just looked at her, and I froze, and Josephine was like, "Oh, yeah, here you go. You suck. You're not a
Oh
true musician.
no.
You're not this." So I asked them to take a break, and I went outside to have a breath because I was going to have a panic attack. And it was so like, Alex, the most comfortable place for me is singing on stage. Like
I was just gonna say yes.
I love it. I have no anxiety about being on stage. It's my
Mhm.
favorite place to be. So to have that moment happen, and to have that mind speaking to me that I'm not good enough, that I like, and it was hard for my girl that I sing with. Like she's like, "This has never happened to you before." And I'm like, "I know." And so I was just sitting outside breathing. I'm like, "I just need a minute." And I had to really do some breaths and just be like, "Okay, you haven't played with a drummer." And it was really loud. Like I was having a hard time hearing.
Mhm.
It's a really small room with a really big drum kit. And, I'm not going to make excuses, but I just couldn't find it. So I took some deep breaths. We took about a 20-minute break. I went to the bathroom, just looked at myself, told Josephine to go away, and
I
went
don't
back on
need you.
stage. I don't need you. But it was like, I think it's like 3 weeks ago. And it was a really big challenge for me because it was a very, like, it was the first time that had happened.
Mhm.
Um, and it's also like, there's so much shame associated with being like, knowing that I can do this, but then not being able to do it. It was just like, oh, so it's okay. I took the next day off. I'm not going to lie. I did nothing the next day. I sat in it. I looked at what my triggers were, um, and analyzed myself to death. And Josephine was there, but I got through it, and then I let it go. So I definitely have to sit in it and let it go. It's
So
like a
you
learning process,
yes, and you
right?
process it. You process
Yeah.
okay, I was gonna ask about how do you process after that, but it seems like
Yeah.
you're already doing that, right?
Yes. I have to process. I have to do it by myself. I can't talk about it. Um, my bandmate was a little concerned because she's never seen that from me. But she also has the same mental health. She's had anxieties. She's had these things happen as well. And you know what is so great to be around somebody that I was safe with,
Mm-hmm.
that
Oh,
understood. And
agreed.
that's so important.
Agreed.
I'm very lucky. If I had been with somebody that didn't understand or had no idea what the hell I'm doing and judged me, I probably would have just collapsed and gone home. So I was supported, and I was patient with myself because I knew she could be patient with me, and that is so important for
Very,
anyone out there. Yeah.
very, very. And then what Vicky just said, I think it really, I mean, I got to stop here and talk about it
Yeah.
because the talker, when it, Josephine in this case, when it has a moment like this, when you have a support next to you, especially if a person can hug you, give you that support, the talker tends to melt away much faster because now you
I'm
know, one, you
yeah.
collecting with somebody.
If I can add to that,
Hmm.
if you're not able to be physically connect, like physically have a hug, because I couldn't do it because I would have started crying, and I was too needing like to have a minute.
Hmm.
If you can't do that, have a way. I mean, I also, because of that, I want to create a safe word because I just looked at her. I'm like, can we take a break? I need a minute.
Hmm.
And she was like, okay, have something that you can share with whoever is around you so that you can communicate that you're okay. Like either A, you're not okay, or B, you're okay. You just need a minute because
Hmm.
you're not alone. Like
You're not alone.
it is not abnormal to have these things happen.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is thank you for sharing this. Would you handle like these kind of experiences? Do they teach you? Do you think they teach you for the next
absolutely.
moment for
Yes.
whenever happens?
If you're open to having it be a teachable moment, it is. I've I've done a lot of work to get to the point where it's a teachable moment. So it's not it's not a natural thing to have, especially the first, if you have something happen the first one, two, three times and you haven't ever had it happen before. Um, but just know that it's just a moment. It's just a moment. And I'm talking about this moment, and in 2 years, I'm just going to remember this moment as an
Correct.
experience that I learned
Correct.
from,
Correct.
right?
Correct. So very important, and I often tell it to people when you're in the storm, because that's a storm. It
It
comes
is a storm.
and it
Yeah.
feels like it will take you away, it will never end, it's over, but it will pass and you will be
Hmm.
there again, like it
Yeah.
happened to Vicky and happens
This
to
too shall
millions of
pass.
that's correct.
Lord of the Rings.
And it does, right? And they do.
It does.
They
Yeah.
do. They do.
Yeah.
Well, that was a really, really good example. The other question I had because they were kind of connected is does Josephine, the talker, actually go away while you're performing? And you said that you love being on the stage. It's actually a
Hmm.
place where Josephine has no room because it's the being of Vicky
Yes.
extending her
Yeah.
beautiful talent, right?
It's I don't know how to say. I mean, I have had Josephine on stage with me before, and it's used, the easiest thing I can say is that it's because I chose to play at a place where I wasn't actually fully enjoying myself. It was it was like a chasing paper situation, which is, for money.
Yeah.
So that's when Josephine arrives. And I'm getting better at, if I'm doing a gig and I feel that coming, I'm getting better at going, no, I'm here for myself. I love my performance, and just ignoring what is happening around me. Because if something is happening around me that is causing me distress as a performer, or in terms of like, oh, I'm really not comfortable here, or feeling judged, or feeling like the environment isn't really where I was supposed to be, it's only one moment. And I can tell Josephine, you know what? I only have 2 more hours to go. It's okay. I'm not gonna do this again. I'm just gonna do it today and I can be done. But it is also like it's a learned thing. I didn't have
Mhm.
that 10 years ago.
So, if I heard you correctly, Josephine, the talker can make music into about the money and about the business part. Like, is that
Yeah.
what you? Okay,
Yeah.
and
And about being knowing, like, there's places where I've been hired for something, and when I'm halfway through and they're requesting things that it's just not what I do, it's so easy to start going, oh, you can't do that. Oh, you shouldn't have taken this gig. Blah, blah. But it's also another way to look at it is that I know that what I do is great, and that's why they hired me. And if this group isn't enjoying what I do, that doesn't define me.
no,
It
no,
doesn't
it is
define
not.
me,
No,
and it's okay.
absolutely.
Not I feel like I have so many actor friends, and they get they do so many auditions all the time and they get rejected all the time. Like, I can't even imagine what that's like. So if I have a room of people and maybe like 5 people are like, I can't do a request for them, the other 30 people are having a good time. And
That's right.
actually, none of that even matters. I'm having a good time because I'm doing what I love. And
And
that's what I have to remind myself.
that's it. And that's it
Yeah.
right there. That's it.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
exactly.
Vicky, do you think humans what would life without the talker be like? Is it possible, and what would it look like?
That's a really good question. I think that I've learned a lot from the talker. I would love us to not be receiving so much information that we are feeling like we need to listen to be guided through our life. We don't need all the noise. It's not guiding us. There's a lot of noise that is creating more garbage that our talkers are, giving us feedback about. And I've become very selective about what I listen to and what I read and what I engage in. I'm not going to lie to you. I love Law and Order Special Victims Unit. I love watching crime fiction. I love reading crime fiction. I love comedy that pokes a little bit, but I just really, in terms of what the real world, I want to be up to date on what's happening. But there's so much garbage, and if we could filter that, I think that the talkers would be less, and there would be way more joy in our soul and our spirit. And
I love it.
it's hard to find.
So more joy. So what I heard from you is that if there's no talker or less talker, there'll be more joy.
More
That
joy.
seems like a good trade-off for me.
I'm gonna say this: VIP brings more joy. It's just, I know you know what I mean.
Yes,
I just,
yes.
Finding little base pools of community that can bring you more joy and like, and if there's things that you're surrounded by that are not bringing joy and maybe touching parts that you're receiving information that isn't really good for you, you don't have to be around it.
Nope.
You can
don't.
walk away. I walk away all the time.
True. Good for
Okay,
you.
sounds good. See you later.
Yes.
Doesn't mean you're a
Yes.
bad person.
Nope.
Doesn't mean they're a bad person. You just don't want to be around it right now, and that's
Exactly.
okay. Just choose what you choose your gut instinct, choose your intuition, and just know that you're not alone. Again, you're not alone.
You're never alone. You're never
Yeah.
alone. Can you tell me 1 to 3 things you'll be doing this year or next year in the future to calm down, or not calm down, quiet down, or be less identified with Josephine the talker?
Yes. Yeah, because Josephine's always there. Well, I just had my birthday on August 8th, and I do always have I think about what I want for my next year. Things that I reflect on what I did well last year, or in terms of like moving forward. And my spirituality is very, I'm very like very. It's not a big part of my life, but I love yoga. I love hot yoga, and I want to get back to that in the winter. It really balances my brain, and it forces me to be still.
Love it.
I find it really challenging to be still and to have my mind still and my body still. So stillness is something for my next year. And that also can include walking every day on the beach, because right by the seawall here, just doing a walk. I can't run anymore, which I really miss. Running used to be a joy, but it's gone now. So walking is great, and listening to podcasts, or just listening to nothing and just being still and being present. Those are 2 things I really want to do: being still and present, and being really connected with my partner, my close friends, my family. And I don't know if you can, my cats are just running around right now. I'm so sorry if you hear them. She's being growly.
They're being present. They're not doing it against us.
They're just like, what are you doing?
Well,
yeah, so that's a really good question.
These are I wrote it down, and I best of luck with that. And the result
Thank you.
is stillness and presence. The things you mentioned,
Yes.
hot yoga, connecting with people better,
Yes.
walking. Those are all the actions that will lead you to more stillness and less Josephine.
Yeah. Yes.
And she's gonna suffer. She's gonna be try to get back. like they want the attention, right? They're not gonna let go
Oh,
easy.
she's gonna be my warrior, Alex.
Well, I
She's
like
gonna be
it.
my warrior.
The warrior, right?
Yeah. That's why I'm trying to like combine, because she's part of me, but like let's bring it up. Wonder
Yeah.
Woman, let's go.
Well, when we do a part 2 in the future, you let me know how that
I
warrior
will.
is working. And last question, and we're gonna wrap it up here. It's been really, really insightful. If your talker, Josephine, was a separate human, okay, just
Yeah.
as a physical separate human in front of you
Yeah.
now, what if you could say one thing to it, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good one. Thank you for your lessons,
Oh.
but get on board with me.
Get on the
Yeah.
train of Vicky.
Get on my train.
Yes,
Get on my train, girl. It's gonna be fun.
it's gonna be fun. I love it. I love it. Well, this was really wonderful. So, Vicky, thank you very much for being our guest. I'm really looking forward to part 2, because I
Yeah.
mean, within an hour we kind of scratched the surface. We got covered a few parts, especially in the music world. But I'm looking forward to another one, like a part 2 of this conversation. Thank you.
Me too. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Perfect.
And
Okay.
to all you guys out there, thanks for listening, and love.
Thank you for listening to Mind Tribe. Share it or leave me a note. Remember, your talker isn't you, presence is. Less talker, more presence. See you next time.